Hi folks, let's hope we can get through to the end of this one without making a gaffe. For example, using a Logitech webcam, really good. I think the picture looks great on my computer screen. The video downloads right onto it, and I can pause and then carry on by pressing something. The icon you get a red dot for record. Well, I've pressed that, so you're on. And now I've got a white square in a red circle, red background. Now if I want to pause, I just go to the next icon, which is a pause sign, press it. And when I want to unpause it, I just press the square item again. If I do it any other way, it starts a new video, which is the last thing I want. That's why I'm using this webcam in the first place, because I got fed up with not being able to pause in record. Meaning that it pauses until you want it to carry on, and there's no continuity problem. You don't have to edit it in the Windows Movie Maker. So I'm in the dark ages with my computer skills. Right. So what we're going to do? A basic lesson tutorial. I hope it will be easy and simple. This is my basic palette. I've used it on and off for years. Occasionally I add, I'd like to change that cadmium red to vermilion at some stage, but I've just bought a new tube of it, and a tube of ultramarine, and I think I've got a tube of yellow cadmium pale, really good for making greens. So we've got cadmium red, ultramarine, burnt sienna, Payne's grey, cadmium yellow pale and yellow ochre, 6 colours. I could do without probably the well, I don't know, that's my basic palette. I don't want to do any less than that. So keep it simple, stupid, KISS. Got my 3mm MDF board, not rubbed down. This particular batch, it gets quite rough when I apply any liquid to it, so I've primed it with a good coat of acrylic, burnt sienna, and some what else? And some PVA glue just to spread it, help it spread. It should be enough. It would be best if to put another coat of either gesso or burnt sienna, mid-tone, to make sure that the paint doesn't make a dull spot by soaking in inadvertently. So, but most of these they're not going to go anywhere. They're demonstrations, and but I've not done in over 8 years, any painting for myself that hasn't been shown on YouTube. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy making these videos, and I do keep a record of them on external hard drives. So if anything happens to me on YouTube, I haven't lost everything. I've got most of the videos on two external drives. Right, okay, so I'm going to do a sort of meadow. We went on the bike ride yesterday, as we do every week, as you know, if you follow me. And we went in the wetlands in Malden Hall Park, which is a beautiful park in South London. It's called Malden, Surrey. We're in Wallington, Surrey, but we're all part of Greater London. And the River Wand goes from Croydon to the Thames, meandering. It's not the Mississippi. It's a chalk stream, but it's very beautiful now because it's been well restored since 1966. Tirelessly working on it. I have a voluntary society that pitches in and removes the odd supermarket trolley or bicycle that's been stolen of some child. Oh, we get yobbery here, don't you worry. And the boardwalk is what it says. It's a meandering boardwalk with a viewing platform and a pond where children with their teachers or grown-ups can go sort of dangle their nets and get some wildlife out of it. It's very, very lovely, really beautiful. And I fell in yesterday. I got too close to the edge. A couple of boards either side of the wall, the walk, about 3 inches high, and I got a bit too close to it with my heavy bike, and I went in up to the tops of my ankles. It was just mud. So my two pals had a really good laugh at that at my expense. I don't mind. So that's what we get up to on a Tuesday morning. But I was a bit tired to do anything yesterday, and we were having some fence panels replaced, and so I had to burn them. The guy couldn't take them away for some reason, so we had to burn them last night. So it was quite a busy day, really. Okay, so Warden Hall Park. Well, I'm just going to imagine we'll put a big sort of bush. I'm not sure whether I will add a trunk. You don't really have to, and we'll have some distant. Okay, and can we put a pond in there? We could put a pond in, or something there to indicate water. Water always goes down well in my paintings, I think. Okay, brushes, just some very good quality brushes from Graduate Pro, Data Roundy brushes, very good brushes. I've had these quite a long time. I bought them from the Range, which is a very large sort of hardware store. Sell frames, but they had a lovely art department, but they scrapped it in favour of an Iceland supermarket in one corner. They sacrificed all the lovely paints and brushes they had. I bought loads of stuff there, but alas, it's gone. It's gone. So no wonder we go to the internet to buy our stuff. Finish my tea. Okay. Oh, also another problem I had with the webcam. Well, it wasn't the webcam, it was a computer. I had it set to turn off after 15 minutes if it wasn't being used on full power. So I changed that to, I think, never. So we should be able to make quite a long video. Not that this is going to be long, but it's all learning for me at my age, and that comes hard. So we've got some linseed oil. I did have some linseed from Monday's work. I'll add to it, and I think I'll add a bit of Griffin Italian white. Griffin is a fast dryer, and it gets into everything. It helps the whole painting dry. So I've got a large tube here. So if you appreciate what I do, folks, and you want to make some sort of small contribution, you can do that easily on PayPal. Links on the video. The thing is, the free videos do cost me. Well, if I was just talking, it cost me nothing. Just fun. So it does help to pay for all this stuff. I mean, all this costs a lot of money. Right, okay, but we won't fall out over it. So I'm going to do, well, we've got a lovely day it's a sort of mixture of cloud and sun, but it's quite bright. Not warm yet, it's still about 11 to 12 centigrade in my bit of London. This is sort of a, I don't know where the wind's coming from. It's cold. It should be coming from the northeast, but it's not. I think it's coming from the southwest. But anyway, it's the cold breeze is a bit unseasonal. Just cover the sky area. Okay, we'll go back to that. Let's put a bit of foreground in. Foreground, burnt sienna, various greens, the white. All this looks easy, I know, because I've done a lot of it. So we want a nice green, it's going there. I can put the pod back in later. So we want a nice green, so we go red, yellow, blue. And if you want to darken the green, you can either add more ultramarine to it or use some Payne's grey. Okay, just a cheap old brush from Hobbycraft, a pack of 15 for about £8. But I don't think you can go there. I mean, you can order cash and or click and collect, but I can't bother with all that. When it opens fully, I'll go. But, okay, let's get a bit of light cloud in there now. Let's put a bit of white. You can do your foreground first and paint down to it. This is more or less what I'm doing, isn't there? I'm just painting it thin here because I'm going to go over it. See, by using a bit of dryer, the paint tends to go tacky quite quickly. We'll mix a bit of a cloud grey, add a bit of red to that, a bit more ultramarine, the white. I never tire of doing these sky paintings. And this is as much for you if you're struggling with skies. You can see how quickly I'm doing this. I'll have a bit of light underneath that. And then we'll start putting some trees in before we get into the foreground. Okay, how's that looking? Look, this is, you have to be careful of this. Good tip. Take your clouds off. Otherwise it looks as if you're just fitting them in between two sides. Well, there we are, got a sky there. It's more or less what's going on, although my clouds are warmer than the ones I'm looking at. There's just a sort of a grey, a very light grey against the white cloud. Although clouds are never white, you hold a sheet of white paper up against a cloud and you'll see the difference. They have colour. Right, here we go. Got some nice background, so we want quite light yellow for the screen on the top here. Summer green. can, try to just leave some air holes for birds to fly through. Bit of pains. All right, we'll go along the horizon. We'll have some sort of blue-green. I'm just painting by imagination the trees on the horizon in the park. You've got all this lovely marsh grass. I will elaborate that. The marsh grass going across and all these different trees, and it's so gorgeous. We just marvel at it. We're so grateful for the Environment Agency for doing it all. It's just added to this lovely park. Let's go a bit dark on the shadow there. We'll go to bluer green, which is what I had intended, but it didn't really work. It's a bit too light. A bit of yellow ochre on there. Bit of dark. See, this saves doing filigree. Create the illusion of detail without any detail. Or at least when I say detail, I mean using a rigger or something. You can, whatever suits you. I mean, this is just what I'm doing at the moment. But we're in full leaf now, so the trees are very, very lovely. Go up to there. Oh, we could just dob in some lighter greens, which is really just a bit of this mixture here. Well, it's got a bit green with the other colours I've mixed in with the cadmium yellow, but I've added a bit of white. Okay, now we're going to put a big one in now. So we'll carry on with that colour. Look, more blue. Oh, we'll do this one. Oh, that's not green, is it? Put a big oak tree or some sort of tree in here. A bit of panes, just to darken. The Payne's grey makes a beautiful green. Now I'm using the back of the brush a bit of red with that to warm it up. This is almost turning into one of my salt marsh scenes, but it's not. It's all good dark. So let's have a bit of red, a bit of blue. Just to put a bit of definition. Okay. Right, now we'll leave that alone now. We'll go into this foreground, and then as I go along, I can probably find things that are wrong with it. How long have we been going? I have no idea. It doesn't say, it doesn't show. Well, I hope the sound's okay. I can see it moving on the little icon on the screen. All right, okay. So let's get some nice contrast in here. White, ochre, plenty of white. Nice lot of oil. So you get the grasses coming up in front. I'll put some dark in here. I'm going to put that pond in, then the weather will register. Right, let's get some good dark now. So a bit of blue with that burnt sienna. More blue. See, burnt sienna is a good mixer with ultramarine. See how to paint marsh grass, all those lovely thatching grasses, without actually painting them. We're just stippling with the edge of a cheapo brush. You know, we'll get some sort of, let's see if we can, I wonder what Payne's grey would be like with a bit of white. A touch of ochre. Doesn't really show, does it? Right, no, we want some brighter stuff in there now. So we've got that horizon, touch of ochre, and bring the grasses up into those trees. Well, you can use a little sable to go over all of this, but much easier like this. But I am making this up. It's not being a copy of anything. Well, then we'll put some sky holes back in the trees in a minute. Right, let's get that darker on there. Okay. We'll get some pond in here. So that's why I put the dark in, so we can reflect some of that light. And we're looking down rather than getting that reflected in the water. Okay. Right, okay. Let's get a... This is quite tricky. You can use a knife to do this to get the highlights in there. But we'll leave that. Now we'll put in some nice dark stuff coming up here. Darker green. Just plain grey, a bit of yellow. No. Just creating that illusion without actually doing any painting. Right, now I'm going to put in, if I can, with a stipple, a bit of that light blue. Okay, let's do some over the background there. See, that opens it all up. Okay, well, I think we've said everything. Okay, now probably a bit of red would be all right, because we've got the lilies coming out now. Flags, whatever you want to call them. So I'll just put some bright yellow. Let's find a bright yellow brush. There we are, nice little sterling #1 or flat, tiny little brush. So let's just get some, probably a little bit dry. This is authentic. There are some irises. They're where the trams across the park. It's not sticking, probably because I've got so much oil on there. So we'll just be sparing. Get on, stick. For a bit of red. Okay, well, I don't think we can do much more than that. What I'll do is I'll pause you, see if I can get this right. I'll go and put this in a frame and I'll be back, but you won't know I've gone.